Good morning, world. Cece here. Today, I want to talk about the most dangerous person in your life, specifically to your peace and happiness. But before you start making a list of names, take a breath. It may have started with a leaky roof, or a car wreck, or a friend, your parent, or a person who hurt you yesterday or years ago. But now, it might be the version of you that keeps reopening the wound. Now, before anybody gets upset with me, I'm not saying the pain wasn't real. I know mine surely was. I'm not saying betrayal doesn't hurt. Yep, sure does. And I'm not saying harsh words don't leave scars. And I'm definitely not saying that what happened to you was okay. But what I'm saying is that the pain usually enters once. But it survives because we keep feeding it. Someone says something hurtful, or a relationship ends. A business deal goes sideways. Life throws you something you never saw coming. That event happened once. Or in my case, maybe more than once. That's why I wrote a book. But then we replay it. We replay the conversation or the betrayal. And most definitely the disappointment. We should have said this or that. We replay what we should have done. And before we know it, we're carrying that moment around with us everywhere we go. We ask ourselves, why do they do that or say that? Or why don't they understand me? And why wasn't I enough? They should have apologized. Why? But here's the problem that I've learned along the way. Most of these questions don't bring us peace. They just keep us stuck. I've learned from a lot of different people over the years, books, podcasts, personal growth teachers, spiritual teachers, friends, and recently I've been listening to some Shaolin wisdom that has resonated with me. One thing I've learned is that awareness changes everything. Now, awareness sounds like one of those big personal growth words, but what does it actually mean? Well, for me, it's just basically catching myself in the act. That's it. It means noticing when you're replaying the same story over and over again. Noticing when you're giving the pain another microphone. And noticing when your mind is reaching for an old wound and treating it like it just happened yesterday. And the goal is not to never think about it again. The goal is to recognize when you're feeding it. Because then it loses its power. Because there's a huge difference between processing pain and practicing pain. Processing pain helps us heal. Practicing pain keeps us trapped. And trust me, I know something about both. There were times in my life when I shut down and built walls so high, nobody could get in. And there were other times when I practically swam in my pain. I wore it, I talked about it, I carried it, I identified with it. Neither one brought me peace. One disconnected me from life. The other kept me trapped in the past. And the breakthrough came when I started noticing my own patterns. Noticing how quickly my mind wanted to revisit old stories. Or how badly I wanted people to understand me. And noticing how much power I was giving to other people's opinions. We all want people to understand us so badly that sometimes we care more about what they think of us than what we think of ourselves. Now, think about that for a minute. We wait for an apology or the explanation. We wait for the closure. And sometimes it never comes. And sometimes it does, but does it really give us peace? Because peace doesn't require their participation. Peace doesn't require them to agree with you or for them to finally understand your side of the story. It comes when you stop handing your power away. Another analogy that's helped me is this. Imagine carrying around a suitcase full of somebody else's mistakes. Everywhere you go, you're dragging it with you into new relationships, new opportunities, new experiences. The person who packed the suitcase may have moved on years ago, but you're still carrying it. And at some point, you have to ask yourself, does this still belong to me? And here's something else I've learned the hard way. Forgiveness does not mean what happened was okay. For years, I resisted letting things go because I thought that if I forgave someone, or I was somehow approving what they did. I thought I was letting them off the hook. But that's not forgiveness. Forgiveness is not approval or agreement, or not pretending it didn't hurt. It's simply deciding that you are no longer willing to carry the weight of it. That's all. You stop renting space in your mind to something that no longer serves you. Now, I know what some of you are probably thinking. Yeah, easier said than done. Boy, oh boy, are you right. It is. Because your mind is incredibly good at giving you more of whatever you repeatedly focus on. Feed it fear, oh, it finds more fear. Feed it resentment, here comes that. Feed it reasons to be angry, and it will happily provide you a list. And again, it's not trying to hurt you, it's trying to serve you. The problem is that it doesn't know the difference between what helps you and what hurts you. It just follows what you repeatedly feed it, like a gentle little servant. Which is why awareness matters so much. So that next time that old story shows up, notice it. And the next time the anger arises, notice it. The next time you catch yourself replaying that same conversation for the 100th time, notice it. Pause. Breathe. Take a breath and ask yourself, is this helping me heal? Or am I feeding something that needs to be released? It doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't have to get it right every time. I certainly don't. But what I've noticed is that the more aware I become, the quicker I catch myself. What maybe used to take me weeks or years, now it takes me days. And some things, days into hours, and that's progress. We're not trying to become perfect. We're trying to become aware, and awareness gives us a choice to finally put it down. So if there's one thing I want you to remember today is this. The event may hurt you once. And you don't have to keep hurting yourself with it. It says, as always, my friends, take care of your mind, and the rest has a better chance of falling into place. Until next time, this is Cece, and this is Cece Talks Live, real talk, real life.